Days of Our Lives Spoilers Week 2, Steve Johnson demands ISA accountability over John Black's fate. Steve Johnson has never been one to shy away from confrontation, especially when it comes to protecting the people he loves. This week on Days of Our Lives, Steve's patience with the ISA is pushed to its limits. His best friend, John Black, has been on a top-secret mission for months, leaving his wife Marlena Evans and their family in limbo. As the weeks drag on with no word from John, Steve begins to suspect the worst and takes decisive action. John Black, a seasoned operative for the ISA, accepted a dangerous mission earlier this year. While Marlena supported his decision to go, the separation has taken its toll. Milestones like anniversaries and holidays have come and gone without John's presence. Despite Marlena's unwavering faith that John would return to her, Steve senses that something is amiss. The ISA has remained tight-lipped about John's mission, offering only vague assurances that he is fulfilling his duties. As days turn into weeks, and weeks into months, Steve grows increasingly skeptical of their silence. Marlena's brave front is starting to crack, and their children have begun to voice their concerns. For Steve, enough is enough. He decides to confront the one person he believes can give him answers, ISA Director Shane Donovan. Shane Donovan has been a trusted ally for years, but even he is not immune to Steve's fury. When Steve finally reaches out to Shane, the encounter is explosive. Steve demands to know why the ISA hasn't provided any updates on John's mission. His voice shakes with emotion as he recalls all the times John put his life on the line for the agency, asking pointedly, "Is this how you repay him? By leaving his family in the dark?" Shane, visibly uncomfortable, tries to reassure Steve that the ISA is doing everything in its power to bring John home safely. However, his words fall flat. Steve's piercing gaze and clenched fists make it clear that he's not buying it. "I've been in this game long enough to know when someone's feeding me a line, Shane," Steve snaps. "I'm not leaving this conversation until you tell me what's really going on with John. Is he still alive?" Steve's fears are not unfounded. As fans know, the beloved actor Drake Hogestyn, who has portrayed John Black for decades, tragically passed away in September 2024. Before his passing, Hogestyn collaborated with the Days of Our Lives writers to craft a storyline that would honor his character's legacy. This has left viewers wondering, could John's current mission be his last? On the show, Steve's confrontation with Shane only deepens the mystery. Shane hesitates before finally admitting that John's mission went off the rails several weeks ago. "We've lost contact with him," Shane confesses. "There's been no communication from his team. But we're doing everything we can to locate him." Steve's worst fears are confirmed. He slams his fist on Shane's desk, his voice breaking as he shouts, "Doing everything you can? That's not good enough. John is more than just another agent to you. He's family to all of us. If you can't bring him back, then I will." Meanwhile, Marlena's quiet strength is beginning to waver. She has always been John's biggest supporter, but the prolonged silence is eating away at her hope. She confides in Steve, her voice trembling as she says, "Every time the phone rings, I pray it's him. And every time it's not, I feel like I'm losing him all over again." Steve's heart breaks for her, but he refuses to let despair take over. He promises Marlena that he will bring John home, no matter what it takes. "You've stood by him through everything," he tells her. "Now it's my turn to stand by you." Determined to uncover the truth, Steve begins his own investigation. He retraces John's steps, digging into the details of the mission that the ISA has kept hidden. Along the way, he encounters resistance from other ISA operatives who warn him to back off. But Steve's resolve only grows stronger. As he delves deeper, Steve uncovers troubling information about the mission. It appears that John's team was sent into a highly volatile region with limited resources and outdated intel. The operation was doomed from the start, and Steve is furious that the ISA allowed John to take such a risk. He vows to hold them accountable, even if it means going up against Shane and the entire agency. The revelations about John's mission send shockwaves through Salem. Marlena, struggling to hold on to hope, begins to prepare for the possibility that John may never return. Her family rallies around her, but the pain is palpable. Steve, meanwhile, refuses to give up. He's determined to bring John home, alive or dead. "John would do the same for me," he tells Shane in a final confrontation. "And if you're not going to help me, then stay out of my way." As the storyline unfolds, fans are left on the edge of their seats. Will Steve's relentless determination lead him to John? Or will he uncover a truth too painful to bear? One thing is certain, the bond between Steve and John is unbreakable, and Steve will stop at nothing to honor his friend's legacy. This week on Days of Our Lives promises to be an emotional roller coaster, as Steve's quest for answers takes center stage. Don't miss a moment as the drama unfolds and the fate of John Black is revealed.